Thomas Tuchel was pretty punchy when he spoke to Des full time in the game, and look, you'd understand it. You know, Des, when Des said you seem angry, he's like, well, of course I'm angry. You know, we've just been beaten badly, and that emotion carried on from him in the press conference. So the way it works at these games, they'll speak to the media like us, and they'll go into a press conference, and they'll speak to the rest of the world's media. And this was the way that Thomas Tuchel reacted to one of the questions that was asked. And now have a listen to this.
Hi Thomas. After that, do you still feel this tie is very much alive?
No. Not at the moment, no.
Could you expand?
Sorry?
Could you expand on that?
What is expand?
Why it's not alive?
Say more.
Why it's not alive? Because we have to find our level back. I don't know where it is, but since national break, the first half is a repetition of the second half against Brentford and in a quarter final against Real Madrid. So far of our level in absolutely everything what the game demands. That you cannot expect a result from this kind of performance.
It's really interesting, this, because it's about being honest and sending a message to his players, but it's also about getting it right. Do you think when he says that as things stand, the tie's over because they're not performing, is he getting that right, that message to his players in the dressing room?
I think only time will tell. I think the reaction at the weekend will give you a big indicator as to where the squad are after those comments. But I think he's completely right. I think you come back off international duty, you want a reaction. You know players are going to be jaded, travel's going to play a part, but you try and get a result. That's what we used to do when we played. That's the result. Unless it's a big game against one of the teams you're chasing the title with, them games you've got to really lift yourself. Fans won't understand, you should be lifted for every game, but I understand when Klopp's doing an interview on the Friday before the game against Watford at home at Anfield, come on guys, we need the fans there to be vocal, etc., because the players need an extra lift. But he looks concerned. And wouldn't have said that before the game, but after this game, and I think especially after that first half that we've critiqued quite extensively, there's concern there on his face and in his comments. He can't hide his disappointment in what he's seeing at the moment.
I think we've praised him for his honesty, and I think rightly so. And I think that's what he's gone into the lads after the game, and probably got, 2 defeats on a bounce, heavy defeats, and he's probably said that lads, if you want to go through to the semi-final of the Champions League, we ain't going to do it playing like that, and our level is here. It needs to be here. And I think he just takes that honesty into the press conference. So I think it's a bit of psychological ploy on his own players. He can't be saying one thing to his players and then going out and being wishy-washy for the media.
Yeah.
Well, he can, but that's not his style.
No.
He says it how he sees it.
Sense that we get exactly what they get, don't you?
And that's him in a nutshell. His personality, he's honest, he's open, and his players come to respect that. I think he's gone in there to his players. He's not happy with the last 2 performances, certainly not happy with the last 2 results. And he just told them how it is. If you play like that on Saturday against Southampton, you're going to get turned over. And if you play, and if you don't play to your best level, we've got no chance of going through. So I think honesty, that's what players want. They don't want to be. You don't want to manage. Sometimes we've had managers, particularly when I've been playing in teams which have struggled, where I've been in relegation, you're sitting there, and as a player, I know we've been poor, and the manager will be saying, because he's thinking he's got a baby here, and say, listen, we was unlucky there. And I'm kicking myself going, we wasn't unlucky. We was poor. We've been poor for 4 or 5 weeks.
Appreciate and respect honesty.
I liked honesty.
You do.
And I think he's just being honest with his players that the level needs to get back to what they are. And he trusts these players. He knows that they can produce because they have done. They're champions.